Welcome to Stop Dating Losers. Get your free relationship advice and so much more on my website. Subscribe and share this video with everyone you know, and let us go ahead and begin, shall we? All right, let's go ahead and see what we have here. I once matched with a guy whose very first question was, "Want to come to my place?" I told him I don't go to any stranger's house on a first date. He said he just prefers cooking at home. Cute idea, sure, but only after we've actually met and confirmed neither of us is unhinged. Smart, very wise. I would say that's the best type of thinking. Like, hello guys, do you not understand how unsafe it is for a woman to walk into a stranger's house? And honestly, it's not even safe for you. What if I'm a catfish or a serial killer or both? Think. Well, I highly doubt you're going to be a serial killer, but, well, you know, the danger is there, normally against women, but could happen to men as well. But I would say the overwhelming majority is violence against women or something even more sinister. Kind of like what she's hinting at there at the very end. But yeah, absolutely. So this is all about rushing what's supposed to be a very nice and slow, natural process of getting to know somebody. So no, you shouldn't go to each other's place right away. And, you know, it's just like the first date. See, dating is the problem. Dating is like, okay, you want to go out on a date? What even is a date? You guys are just going to go out together and get to know each other, right? So why don't we just focus on that? Isn't that what friends do when you become friends with someone? Now, this isn't just another friendship. You have to let them know, hey, look, you want to be friends? And if it turns out to be, you know, turns into something more than just friendship, then I'm open to that. If both of you guys can say yes to that situation that you're proposing, you're saying, you know, that possibility that maybe our friendship can turn into something more, and then maybe we can be girlfriend, boyfriend. That's how it begins. If you try to fast forward that process with dating, you're going to be playing a persona, somebody that you're not, even if you deny it. You're going to be taking a great risk with the person that you want to go on the date with. Just play it the 100% safe route by establishing a successful friendship first. Trust me, there's plenty of time to get to know each other. Because here's the thing, here's the red alarm. If you insist on dating people, all you're doing is trying to go through people super fast because you want to know yes or no, did the date go good or not? I don't have time for that's your problem. You're just going through people like they're products. You're not learning anything by playing the dating game. And I know lots of people are going to disagree because they're addicted to that game. They're saying, well, it's worked in the past. Yeah, but just because it worked in the past doesn't mean it works for everybody. The number one thing that works for everybody, that's proven to work time and time again, is establishing a successful friendship with someone. That's the surefire way. Nice and slow. Because as soon as you start cutting corners and say, okay, I just want to get this over with. Are you into me? Are we clicking? Yes or no? Are we vibing together? You're playing the fast-paced, it's like the highway to potential failure, most likely. And here's the thing that really kicks you in the stomach. Even if the date goes great, now you're going to be rushing the boyfriend-girlfriend process. Because when you rush into that process, it's like, okay, what else are you going to rush? When do we have sex? All these other questions. When do we move in together? When do I decide to move across the country to where she works? There's a lot of situations, big important decisions that you could later regret. Because guess what? Even if 1 date, 2 dates, 3 dates, 5, 10 work out, the relationships could still fail. And often for the stupidest reasons. And this is why dating sucks. Because you're rushing through what's supposed to be a nice, slow process, and you're finding out all the errors, all the red flags later on down the road. Because you're too stubborn to take it nice and slow. In fact, maybe both of you were stubborn. And you guys just want to say, yeah, I've been in a relationship before. I know how this works. Let's just see if we click. And even if you think you're taking it slow by dating, oh no, we've been on a dozen dates. In the end, there's no purpose to dating at all at that point. The more you date, the more you should realize that dating is just a game. It's a fiasco. It's just a facade. It's a charade. It really is. Because all you're doing is going out with somebody and talking to each other. Okay, why don't you guys just say, hey, you want to be friends? My name is, fill in the blank. Let's go ahead and move on, because I agree with her here. You know, it's unsafe, but she has to open up her mind and really realize that dating, it's not about how unsafe it is. Like, yes, I give you kudos for that. But you have to stop playing the dating game. That's your next step. And I know that's a very difficult step because people are like, friendship? What's that? What do you mean? What? You guys are going to become friends anyways, but you're rushing into the process. You're ruining what should be a slower process. All right, let's move on to the next comment here. There's nothing more romantic than someone choosing to learn you. Not just love the easy parts, but take the time to understand the layers you've built, the scars you hide, and the stories behind your silence. Someone who flips through the pages of your soul carefully, not rushing to get to the ending, but savoring each chapter with patience and grace. They read your joy, your pain, your lessons, and still stay. They hold space for the parts of you that are hard to explain and never judge you. All right. So here's somebody who pretty much gets it. Right? So in order to accomplish this, you can't be dating, because how are they going to read you nice and slow? You guys are just skipping pages and skipping to the end. I just want to know how the story is going to end, because I don't have time. I'm a busy person. You know? And then fill in XYZ reasons as to why you're so busy. And yeah, I would like to establish a friendship, but that's going to take too much time. Well, then you are not serious about anything or anyone in the realm of love. You're not going to make it. And even if you did, by playing the dating game, you're going to fail down the road. It's just a matter of time. Let's go ahead and move on to the last comment of the show. Why are y'all rushing into relationships? The whole point is to build a slow, solid friendship first. Wow, congratulations. Somebody who actually gets it. This is extremely rare to see on social media, of all places. And even offline. Offline, people will be like, so you dating? Who you dating? And how's it going? How are things going? Very passive. So this is extremely rare to find online. That's the actual foundation. Of course. I want my future somebody I can be friends with first. Absolutely. Grow with and ease into love naturally. Exactly. There's the key word, naturally. You can't force romance. No, you can't. And it will come. If you guys are a perfect match, you'll have the greatest friendship to begin with. And then maybe it should naturally move along if there's chemistry, because you can't force chemistry. And that's kind of sort of what she's saying here by you can't force romance. So I have to toss that in there. It may escalate to some higher level, or it may not completely. Maybe you guys are just great friends. But then at that point, you would have to move on to another person. And yes, maybe the friendship will end. Maybe you guys degrade down to acquaintances, because you have to find the one for you. So let's say you establish a successful friendship together. You guys are vibing, but later on you find out things that, I don't think we're going to make a good compatible match. And both of you agree. Well, it was nice knowing you. I hope you find the right one for you, and leave it at that. Don't maintain that friendship. I know it sounds cold, but you got to move on, because the last thing you want to do is, when you finally do find someone after establishing a friendship with them successfully, now you have this other person in your life which you might be tempted to call on for backup in case things go south in your next relationship. You don't want that. That's the case of the ex. And technically, you guys aren't even ex. See the other added benefit there? If you cancel a friendship because you guys found out ultimately that you're incompatible and it's not going to work out, leave it at that. But at least there is no ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend. You guys just excommunicated each other, ended the friendship, right? That's the way things should be. And you avoid all these silly little labels. All right. And I think also it's really ironic how there's girlfriend and boyfriend. Doesn't that give you a gold nugget right there of wisdom? Friend. So why rush the process? When you're just friends, you don't have to call each other boyfriend, girlfriend. You guys are just friends. You're seeing if you're going to take it to that next level, right? All right, let's continue this comment here. I think we force too many of our expectations on people. And I'm not saying you can't flirt, make little innuendos, or crush on them. But pressure ruins the whole point of true love. Well, you don't establish true love right away. That takes a long time. Even when you guys are boyfriend, girlfriend, you guys aren't truly in love yet. You guys might have fell in love, but true love is a proven, just consecutive years. I would say at least a few years together, and you guys are really just smashing it in all possible ways. Only you guys together can say whether it's true love or not. Because a lot of couples are going to argue, they're going to butt heads about even the most ridiculous things. You'd be surprised. It's pretty much common sense. It's not a secret that arguments do happen. And sadly, people get married and 20 years, 30 years down the road, they're still arguing like lunatics sometimes. They never master true love. True love is where there's no more arguments. And if you think that's impossible, you should stay away from anybody. You got to learn how to avoid silly little arguments, because they can turn violent, they can end in breakups, divorce, and you'll regret it when other things are on the line down the road. So that's part of the maturation process. Learning how to de-escalate things, how to think smarter, not harder, how to work with somebody. Really work with somebody special that you consider the love of your life. Okay, if they're the love of your life, you guys shouldn't be arguing at all. You guys should be a solid, perfect team. Yes, because if you don't believe in perfection, you guys are going to fail. All right, so real love grows when you stop forcing it and let it unfold naturally. Okay, yeah, that's true. And she says it takes time. Yes, and that's the number one thing that many people think they believe that they don't have. Well, I got a full-time job. I'm working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I barely have any time. Well, then you're not a good candidate to go out and find someone. Sure, you can date around and mess around, but realize that you're using other people who are using you just as much. If you're okay with that, go ahead. But that's not happiness. Sometime down the road, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to either find a better job or reduce your living costs, make it happen, right? Move to another place, another country, whatever it takes. How important is true love to you? And if you're unfortunately like so many people today who say, well, I don't need true love. I don't need true love. It doesn't even exist. I'm just going to keep working myself and grinding and just dating people, having fun. Yeah, sure. It's perpetual satisfaction going nowhere, but you're going to end up go so far down that road and see how you feel in the end. Let me just give you the answer. You're not going to feel really good. You might justify it now, but after so many men, so many women, depending if you're a man or a woman, so many partners down the road, you're going to regret it. You're going to say, I wasted decades of my life on people that I never truly clicked with. I was just messing around, quote unquote. That's all it's going to ever be. Okay? Messing around. So like I always tell people, you got to be highly focused on establishing that connection with one person. And the only way to get started is a solid friendship. And if things escalate higher, then you guys graduate higher to something deeper, boyfriend, girlfriend. And it doesn't matter what age you are. Yes, you will still be boyfriend, girlfriend. Intimate partners, if you will. And then, further down the road, if you guys are ready, you can take the plunge into marriage. But if you have anything negative to say about the idea of marriage, stay away from anybody. You're not taking anything serious. And just continue wasting decades of your life until the very end. That's not my advice to you. It's just what's going to happen if you refuse to really invest the time of your life into that which matters most. A lifelong partner by your side who loves you just as much as you love them. That should be your only primary goal. Yes, you have to play the game of survival in life with the job, with paying the bills, yada yada. I get it. And hobbies too. But the only thing that will matter most in the end, throughout your entire life, that'll really truly bring you happiness, everlasting happiness, is true love with that lifelong partner that you have invested years of your life getting to know and making it work perfectly. Not with any doubt or any fear, but perfectly, because you took it nice and slow. So stop rushing. That's my last bit of advice to everybody watching this and listening to this. Stop rushing. Stop dating and start befriending. With that said, if you made it this far, it's time to become a free member on my website. You'll get free relationship advice and so much more. Also, drop a comment with the topic you'd like for me to go over in a future show. Much love, everybody.